All right. I don't know about you, but personally,
I hate Devil May Cry.
like, for some reason, like, just the sound of DMCV.
Oh, yeah.
Really
Now that you say it like that.
It's the nicest palate cleanser possible.
It really resonates.
DMCV is good.
Man, that's how you wash the palate.
Yeah,
you know.
Washed.
So walk us through this, man. There is some stuff we've seen before in here. In fact, there's a lot in here that we've seen before.
Yeah. In fact, a lot of people have known about this for a long time, and this is a leak that is officially coming together on behalf of the entire DMC community, aware of the fact that this game has existed.
It is very clear to anybody who knows anybody on this thing. This is like the worst kept secret I have ever seen. This is bad.
Nah, there's stuff in the past that's probably
the
worse.
PSP Go, I think, is probably the worst kept secret ever, actually. But because people got the hardware and were holding it in front of Sony people. Yeah. But yeah, no, this has now come from like a dozen places,
and it's still in rumor territory.
Technically, yes.
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean we can't.
But they all say the same thing.
Hideaki Itsuno's secret project for Capcom is the sequel to the original Devil May Cry series, the 5th installment. Internally, it appears to be called Devil May Cry V.
Now, that may not be the actual final title,
but I really hope it is.
I think it's fine. Just call it that.
And then just add the letters Urgil afterwards. And then, no. That's fine. So yeah, apparently the reason why we haven't heard about it yet is based on some Sony internal rumblings. They were shifting their schedule around. We should have heard about it this month, but what prompted this leak was everyone getting a bit frustrated that it didn't happen this month.
Yeah.
So they're saying for quite some time, we, the Devil May Cry community, have been aware of the existence of a new DMC game. Itsuno planned to unveil this as a secret project this year. We waited to see what would happen. And through E3, TGS, Paris Games, and now in late November, there's no information about it. We know it's not his fault, basically, and Sony wanted to... Where does it say? It explains...
It was supposed to be shown off at PSX this month.
Yeah, right underneath release date and production.
Sony at some point decided to hold a bunch of stuff back from PSX, which we do know is the case, because they put out that statement going, PSX is going to be a lot smaller this year.
Because they wanted to strengthen E3 2018.
Yeah.
So this was one of the cuts.
So the good news on this is that when this game gets announced, it's probably only going to be like 3-4 months away. It's going to be a 2018 release.
And there's going to be a demo beforehand.
Probably going to release at E3.
But there's some huge changes to the formula that are not going to take away what we love, but
they are adding some different stuff.
But adding things that I'm curious to see how this is going to pan out. So there's going to be a demo. Let's go down this list.
I love that it says the trailer has been finished for years.
Yes, yeah.
But we're not allowed
Well,
to
yeah, because it's one of those trailers that has like the final design of the characters are done.
Yeah,
and it's them just talking in front of a mirror or some shit.
Yeah,
So
that's
the game,
such a Devil May Cry
So
V
Devil May
thing.
Cry V has been in DMCV has been in development for 2 years as of today. It will be at least 3 years by the time it's done. Which is the longest any DMC game has had.
Good.
Pre-production started around the time Special Edition 4 released, which is 2015.
That's totally unshocking that they would look at the
of course not.
Astonishing success of that re-release and go, okay, fuck it.
Well, you got to think that like that anytime a re-release like that happens, you have to wonder if it's like
it's the Capcom test.
But it's also people cutting their teeth on the dev side of like getting used to.
All right,
this
new
thing
guys,
is.
Here's how you make a Devil May Cry game.
Basically, right? Open up the files, do what you got to do. Sony is apparently involved to the point that they might be funding part of it,
which might make it a PC PS4 game
exclusive. Not sure if it's timed or not, but somehow Sony is got money in the game.
Is touching it, yeah.
The trailer's been ready for a while now. It's 1 minute 50 seconds long. They might add new cuts because it's come a long way since then. But it's a city-like setting, not unlike Fortuna City from DMC4.
Okay.
Overall game is supposed to be ambitious for a DMC title with a broader appeal. Longest cutscene running time of any DMC game yet.
That's great. Those cutscenes are stupid.
They're getting as cinematic as they can.
Yeah.
And they're trying to make this a full-on like genre breakout.
Big game,
yeah.
Whereas they've always been genre games.
which I
genre breakout. I like that term. I haven't heard it before.
Yeah, just
where it becomes bigger than the genre that it escapes from,
and thus appeals to more people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the name itself is already big enough that
it's entrenched. People know Dante.
People that don't play the games know of and are aware of Devil May Cry. So the previous team that worked on Dragon's Dogma and the DMC games is working on this.
Great, that's a good team.
Shimomura is the cutscene director.
Great.
He did the DMC 3, 4, and Bayonetta cutscenes. Ruben, Johnny, and Dan are back
as their respective characters.
No word on Trish or Lady. And Anya Fiore is helping with the soundtrack. She did the song for DMC 4 SE's launch
As
trailer.
long as it doesn't say helped on Marvel Infinite. We're good.
I'm skipping right over that spoiler section like I did it when I read this last night.
Yeah.
Hard Lock On is standard. Did you read the spoilers?
I read them.
Okay.
I read them.
They're not that big a deal.
Okay, I'd rather not.
There's one thing that's a big deal, but you already knew it.
Yeah, I'd rather not. Hard Lock On is standard. Target 60 frames per second.
Of course it is.
Level design is more open, not going into Soul's open world territory, but movement outside of combat has been streamlined to match the open nature of the game. So we're going to have like almost like running into verses in Bayo, but what is one in my head?
Yeah.
Right.
And you know what in my
but
head,
an easier, faster way of just like traversing.
You know what
the map.
in my head it's actually, and Matt would have much more experience with this, is the way the Yakuza games work, where your movement controls outside of battle are the same. But when a fight starts, it seals you off
into this corner.
has a fake load screen where it's just camera pans and enemies load in. It's not quite a random battle, but it's in between.
And then your environment.
And it'll let you change minor controls like for just traversal or just that,
depending on how big the environment is, the downsides of that is the same with Metal Gear Solid 5, right? The tailored experience is always a much tighter one.
This seems like a nice in between.
But whatever, we'll see how this works out. There's some interesting stuff like there's no stamina bar. Level design and exploration similar to Bayonetta with action pieces, but without QTEs. In general, they don't exist.
Yeah, Itsuno's very anti-QTE.
That's fine.
He hates it.
That's fine. Not a Muso game, but there'll be encounters where you're facing more enemies than you're used to, and that makes me think of the PC version of 4,
where that was.
It's like, what can your computer handle?
And that's in Special Edition also.
Yeah, what can your computer handle? All right, pop out more.
That game's balance changes weirdly
when the room is crowded. Certain moves, like all your moves, just get factored for like what's the widest thing I got. Yeah.
Screw aerial,
No, Crazy Dance.
Yeah,
Crazy Dance everything. It's also why. Like there's always a discussion of like, why do they love Nero so much as opposed to Dante and stuff? And I'm like, there's tons of reasons, but it's a lot of them are just a direct comparison, and I will always take Streak over Stinger.
Yeah,
because it's got the spit on it.
Yeah, especially the Max X Streak.
So you
and Table Hopper's amazing.
There will be some online integration, but definitely no PvP.
That's good.
That's fine. Dodge system is being reworked, and dodging in general is supposed to be a lot smoother. Get ready to hear the word smooth a lot.
They're taking
to this game.
So you know what I hear on that? I hear they're taking Bayonetta's dodge system.
Oh yeah,
like that's what I see when I see that.
You know what?
Because the dodge system in Devil May Cry is clunky as shit. It's bad.
It's never been a factor really.
Jumping is almost always superior.
You always
dodging.
add or block even or something with a hit stop.
And you can jump
and
cancel
absorb on it.
Anything.
Right.
So
I honestly they could take the angel dodges from DMC if they wanted, and that would still be superior.
Well, they already have like a metric for this with Trickster.
Mm-hmm.
Like just say fuck it. Everyone got really good, and Trickster is kind of integrated into the game as a button.
Teleports and such. There's a lot of ways to handle it, but it's true.
I even
Bayo's
like the default Trickster dodge, so you just get a second of invincibility.
But Bayo's is like crucial to gameplay and makes it fun.
Yeah.
So I think that's the right way to go.
I think it would be plenty unique if it just didn't give you witch time. If it was just dodge. Because witch time in DMC is like you already.
It would
hang
be,
time in that game.
Would it be OP?
Devil time. Though.
Would it be OP? I wonder. Maybe here's what you do. It doesn't slow you down, but it gives you DT.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A perfectly timed one gives you DT.
Gives you
And
DT.
that's an upgrade that you unlock later on with orbs.
Done.
Great. Done.
Camera pulls back during big fights. Devs are really proud of this
That's
new
interesting.
dynamic camera system.
That's interesting because the cameras have always been hit or miss.
Yeah, it depends on the environment, right? In some areas, like let's say the city courtyard in 4, I think about where you've got to pan back to see the giant area.
Yeah.
We already are kind of used to the pullback there. But if you're in like a tight hallway, then
it gets real close.
Yeah, and in DMC1, you'd be jumping out of the camera.
DMC1's camera is bad.
Because they still were playing it like Resident Evil.
Because it uses the Resident Evil
it's just
angles.
It's not going to be optimal for fighting.
Animations are less stiff. Big emphasis on cloth
Smooth.
physics. Yeah,
Someone call it.
Maybe Dante's sword will not be clipping through his jacket now. Battles are beautiful. Mission ranking system similar to previous games. Bosses being ramped up. One boss moves between multiple areas of the game. Style system is in for Dante. Enemies will react a bit differently to each style.
That sentence is really interesting to me.
Yeah.
Because it says that it's in for Dante.
Yeah.
Which makes me feel like the other two will get
Their own shit.
their own systems. And it makes sense because they toyed with that with Virgil in SE.
Yeah.
He still uses the style system, but his style bar works completely
His
differently.
Dark Slayer stuff is not at all like Dante's.
Yeah, it's a totally different system.
I really do. I hope that they take all those little ideas and push them so that they're max different. You know, Ryu and Kenneth.
Well, I can see
where they end up being super far away from each other.
I can see Dante and Virgil's being completely different. I can see Nero as being a synthesis of the other two.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because that's what he is. He's literally red and blue.
Yes, but he works out to be his own type of character. I feel moveset wise.
Here's Nero. You ready? You build up style meter, and unlike the other two, you cash it out with throws.
You cash it out. Yeah, and your gun matters.
Yeah.
You know, in not just an insignificant way. Yeah, boss is being ramped up. Style system's in. Style system has been streamlined to be smoother. Smooth.
This should be called Devil May Cry Smooth.
Slipping and sliding out of your chair smooth, yeah. Certain styles will have advantage on certain enemies, similar to DMC and DMC3.
Yeah, it makes sense.
You can use a single style. All right, more interactivity in the environment than any previous DMC game. And there's some form of dynamic environment destruction in play, but not on the scale of Limbo.
Yeah, that's just fancy levels.
And of course, while it's not an open world game, inspirations are taken from Dragon's Dogma.
Good.
Which makes sense because that's what the team worked on. So they know how to do that kind of game.
And that game
now.
is fantastic in its own right.
This sounds fucking great.
Could you imagine if the pawn system was in Devil May Cry V?
Who would you make or get?
You would make your Dante's kid. Yeah, Dante knocks some girl up, and you make Dante's kid, and everybody makes a different Dante's kid.
I hope his name is Dante's kid.
No, it's Sonic. And you have to teach that character how to do sick combos.
Okay.
And then they can go to other people's worlds and do sick combos that you taught.
Okay, I like the idea of some customizing, but I don't like that bullshit. So what I would say is I want a character creator screen that is creating your DT. Or at the very least, customizing how it works by picking different elements that changes.
Oh, you want
look.
that Devil May Cry 2 thing, huh?
If you want, because that's what I'm saying is, if you want the bug, you get the bug. If you want the Dreadnought armor, you get the Dreadnought armor.
Yeah.
You know, and there's different ways to play it, but you can pop different types of.
I
DTs.
want my DT to have super armor 100%.
Do you want floating Nello Angelo behind you as a stand?
Yeah.
Or do you want the arm to just take over the rest?
See, I completely disagree. I want them to be all like designed and unique, and I want them to stay as different as possible. And in fact, I want Virgil's to be completely different from Dante's, because I thought the difference between Dante and Nero's DTs was the best.
Yeah.
Virgil deserves
something else entirely.
something else.
Yeah, I agree.
There should just be a straight up character creator, though. So I want
too many.
No, I want
too many mistakes possible.
Prego, Sparta,
Kai, the Rebel King Demon,
and make all your Devil May Cry OCs.
So there we go. That's what we got to get to. Is one Sparta purple jacket. He's gotta have some sort of something. I really hope
some sort of something.
Second, find a way to fix the Nilo Angelo timeline issue. because I
just have him say I'm better now.
Because you know for a fact that everyone probably really, really hates the fact that Virgil died in the first game. That's probably a huge bummer for everyone going forward.
He clearly
didn't for real. Yeah. But he still had that weird
I got it.
So do something with that.
Dante beat him up real bad, right?
Hurt him.
And then when Dante kicked Mundus's ass again, Virgil was released from the Nello Angelo curse. His
soul was ripped out to make Nello Angelo, but his body still existed.
And so that's why Virgil actually has a slightly different design this time, because he got a new body.
But that's the thing, is what I'm saying about the demon thing is that there's already multiple demon designs for these characters.
Yeah.
So they do switch and pop forms across the franchise.
I hope they
anyway.
give Virgil a little hat.
Yeah.
What kind of hat?
Oh, like a fedora.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
And he drives a cool car.
You know what? He'd be the only one that could pull it off.
Dude.
That version with Dan Southworth.
If the Virgil Mobile is in this car, that would be the sickest.
Bully, do you remember that the
I
Virgil
do
Mobile
remember.
has a big computer screen in
on
it with a big blue V in it?
Yep.
Oh, man.
Dude, if there was a Virgil Mobile action playset, you would get it yesterday.
Yeah.
So
you know what I do remember though is that,
and he calls summon swords he summons swords, but it's like a cartoon face on a sword, like the clip art dude.
Yeah, but then we can have really realistic CW style teen conversations, where you say lines dramatically but understated so that they sound realistic. Like, you're my brother. And you just kind of give it a weird look, and then the camera lingers, and you walk off camera.
Hey, here's the question. Here's my big question. So, Ninja Theory, even though they made a decent game, they could not handle not throwing shade at the old series in the first level with the mop getting on his head.
Mm-hmm.
This better do the same.
I want the reverse so bad.
I want these people, I want Itsuno and team to embrace it and actually give you a jacket that you can put on.
Yeah.
Right?
It says loser jacket.
And no. Just it's a jacket you can put on, and maybe you find it in a weird location.
Oh, do you want it to be classy?
I want him to just we're not we're not on your level.
It's you find Dante finds the jacket, the same jacket has got the thing, and he puts it on,
the Nephilim jacket, and
Nero goes, it's not quite you, and he goes, yeah, and he puts it back. Just it's not mean, but it's it's not.
Or knowing Japan, more likely they'd have him kind of just look in a mirror for a second, and it's the same thing, really. It's pretty much the same moment at the end of the day.
Look in the mirror, it's like, boy, I sure love my white hair.
Yeah, make a weird face and then... Yeah.
Or Dante and Virgil are speaking, and there's this huge vending machine that's selling virility.
Right.
And Virgil's like, oh, who would ever drink that? And it pans over to Dante, and he's got 3, and he's chugging them.
No, I got one. I got one. It's great. I got it. Where fucking Virgil and Dante are hanging out, and they're having a beer, right? This is in the game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, hey, Dante. And he's like, what? You remember when you were, younger and you dyed your hair, man? You look like a jackass. And he's just like, yeah.
And then they move on.
Yeah.
Maybe the TV can come on and it can show Bob,
the newscaster guy.
Bob, whatever his name is. Barker? Not Barker.
Alex Jones.
Yeah, pretty much.
Sure. All right. So DMCV is happening, and that sounds rad.
It couldn't be happening more.
This is the best. Nero's the best Poochie that ever Poochie.
Ever.
He's the best Poochie.
Oh, I don't even think he's Poochie at that point.
He's such a Poochie.
He's the Poochie.
But you can't Poochie when your characters are already Poochies.
Yeah, you're right. He's right. They're all Poochie.
It's Devil May Poochie. Poochie May Cries.
Because
they came in on skateboards on day one.
Yeah.
And the other one's the cool, quiet one who's so cool.
If everyone's Poochie, no one is.
These characters are they're not even made out of cardboard. They're so two-dimensional. All they exist to be is cool.
Yeah. I get because I'm trying to think like if anyone tried to write in a third dude to hang out with Mugen and Jin in Samurai Champloo, it'd be terrible, right?
Yeah, he's really cool, but he's also serious.
What do you do with that? You just give it up because it's garbage. It's a terrible idea.
He has a gun, but it's a different gun.
What is
He's really cool, but hates to care about being cool.